When I first got into the industry, I used these lights, all under $200, and I still use them. If you're building a kit, a light kit, these items are ones I bought early and stuck around, and I'm glad I got them. First one, and I want to get this out of the way because it's pretty popular, is this Aperture MC. I said this in another video where there's a ton of lights now out just like it. And this is why this is number one. I think it's $90, and there are probably cheaper ones, which would be just fine, but it's this form factor. It fits in your pocket. It has this cute little soft box gel thing. It's pretty darn bright. I've used it in the streets in Chicago with my buddy Manny Torres.
This car just pulled up right behind us. Time stood still.
I actually put this on it wasn't even a light stand, it was a mic stand, and it has magnets right here. You can see and the street lamps were motivation for this thing. It just added this way. Moral of the story, I use it as a key light. Now the 12,800 ISO on the FX3 might have helped, but key light, backgrounds, little kicker, accent, color, whatever it is. This form factor is very, very useful to have at your kit. I don't think you'll regret it. Okay, next up, once again, I'm trying to move fast because I know I made another video talking about budget gear, and in the light portion, when I was talking about lights, I did talk about these too, so I'm going fast. This one, I was completely surprised by how much I ended up using this. I bought like 3 or 4 of them because my production company invested in those 3D cameras where it's a stage. You see them at Times Square where a GoPro or a camera does the 360 around you. So I bought these to just put up on light stands, full 360 around the person that's using the stage. And that was it. USB-C charging, decent power, and I was just thinking it would just be a fun gimmick to add some light, add some effect. And then that died off. I didn't do it too much. I didn't rent it out too much. And I still had them. I had a bunch of them. And I just keep popping them everywhere. So far, really heavy duty. I am not careful with these at all. We can do a test actually. Let's do this. Test, turn on. Check this thing out. I don't think it's gonna break. Got a concrete floor. Brick wall. Yeah, this thing ain't going nowhere. Tough. Any marks? Probably. All right. Useful, inexpensive, just overall surprised that I've used it so much. And I've done things where I'll just set it up somewhere, adds a little accent, and then I'll take some diffusion cloth, put it in front, Hollywood it, if you will. But this is another great little tool. Magnet again. You can't see it, but it is sticking to my neck. And please, in this video, I'm not speaking to light quality. That is a conversation that I am not welcome to the table at. But for the sake of budget and usefulness, this one makes the list for sure. Don't think it broke. Third, Zhuan sent this out to me, and I am not getting paid. They sent it. I'm including it because, holy crap, this is their CX50 RGB. I still haven't figured it out. Oh, I gotta hold the button. Press and hold, rotate on. This thing is bright. That's 85%, 100%. It is, and this has my little dome on here. This thing's bright. Extremely surprised about it. And the form factor, I will say, is weird. I know all their lights have this little battery pack, but it's, unless I'm an idiot, which is probable, I don't know how to take it off. I feel like I should be able to take it off. I don't think you can, but I want to. Either way, and then it comes with a Bones mount adapter. You can take it off. This is their proprietary adapter. So I wanted to throw this in. This is still in our budget. It's much brighter than this thing. This one's interesting. Really interesting. Brighter than the last two. Obviously a little bigger. Here's the MC. Yeah, a little bigger, a little heavier. But I think this could do more of a hybrid if you're in a pinch. It could do everything these other, and the one I threw could do. And I'm pretty sure I'd feel confident using it as a key. I mean that. I threw it in because I'm still figuring it out, but I was blown away with just how bright this thing really, this ring really is. It's just a little guy. If I were to add one thing, which you guys maybe won't care, these menus are weird. You can click, whoa. That's kind of nice. It goes in increments of 50% when you just click that thing. Yeah, that's nice. But clicking the left one changes its mode. And I was playing with it, set it up in a way, maybe I was using the red and I was doing some kind of bounce out of whatever, and I kept bumping it, which then changed. There's probably a way to lock that, but it's sweet. Very surprised, interested in diving deeper into what this thing can really do. For now, it'll stay here because it's kind of cool looking. All right, last one on the list is the AMRAN 100D. This is the highest in our budget, brightest for sure. 100D, I think right under $200, maybe $199, $198. That is where you truly have a key light at that point. You actually have power you can play with. I now have got to the point where I would like a little more power. My brightest light right now is the Nanlite 300B, right? Names, man. Nanlite Forza 300B. I still think I need more light whenever I'm doing these different interviews. You'll see, anytime you want to diffuse light, you just need more power. Or you want to compete with sun, you need more power. So that's my brightest one I own. And then I accent it with these little guys. So as for mobile, ready to use, these smaller lights, mobile, USB-C power, this one actually does have a DC 24 volt power. They're great. And I think you'll use them more than you think you will. Same thing with that little tube. I think it's because I didn't have the money. I didn't have the money at the time to get one of the big tubes. Everyone was talking about the Pavo tubes. I just didn't have it yet. So I used them for one thing and then I ended up using them a ton. I own some larger 4-foot or 6-foot AMRAN tubes. I don't use those very much at all. I would rather bring this little guy and use multiple, or bring these, use multiple. That's just the truth. And then I added that 100D on the list because if you had that as your key, these as kickers, hair lights, anything like that, you'd be off to a really good start. Really, really good start. And then make sure you have a way to diffuse it. Recently I made a video about expensive gear that I wish I got cheaper. Wish I went a different route. For example, the G Masters versus the Sigmas or Tamarons and whatever. And that video did really well. And a lot of people said this was helpful, but then someone mentioned, hey, I'd love to know a list of things where you shouldn't have gone the cheap route and you paid the price for it. So that video is coming out soon. These things, some of them are cheaper than others, but I don't think they're that. I can't speak to the other options. The reason I like this is not because of the app or because of the light quality, or even the battery, because it usually is dead and I usually just take a power bank and charge it forever. So it's not because of the actual quality that Aperture has. I like it because it's form factor, reliability, it's tough. So I think the other ones are probably pretty close to it. Same thing for that Godox. Definitely don't like it because it's quality. I like it because it's just a cheap thing that I can throw anywhere and it works just fine. And then as for that AMRAN 100D, like I said, if you're just getting into this, start trying to get more powerful key lights, modify that, diffuse it, bounce it, whatever you have to do as you get better. There's lots to learn. You don't need to start with the highest gear. You can start with some really budget but useful items that, as I've gotten years into this, I still use all the time. All right. That's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. I'd love to hear about lights you're using that are under $200. Maybe there is a Amazon light that's just a butt kicker. I'd love to hear about it. Look out for that video, which is 3 looks in 1 location. That I'm going to explain a lot of the use cases for these lights and how I think the end product is pretty cool, in my opinion. All right, that's it. Get out of here. I'll see you next week.